Okay, so we've got a company that manufactures cameras. In January, they had the following information. So they produced this many cameras. This was their direct materials, direct labor. We've got the manufacturing overhead, we've got the administrative costs, and we've got the marketing and selling. What was the total prime cost? Prime costs are direct costs only. So that means they're direct materials plus direct labor. Then we have what's called conversion costs. So conversion costs convert direct materials into a product. Conversion costs are equal to direct labor plus manufacturing overhead. And I will tell you that prime costs and conversion costs can never be added together. And you can totally see why they can't be added together. Why can they never be added together? You've got direct labor twice. And I see students add it together all the time. So it's really important that you know what a prime cost is and what a conversion cost is. You should be able to understand when I say the word conversion cost, because I'll say it in an exam. I'll say, what are the conversion costs? Think to yourself, it's converting raw materials into a product. What do we need? If the raw materials are sitting there in a pile, I need the direct labor to pick it up and do something with it. And I need the manufacturing overhead, which is all the machinery and the factory and all the rest of it, to be able to produce something. Okay, what are the total prime costs in January? Pretty straightforward. We're going to take the direct materials, which are, there we go. And we're going to take the direct labor, which is the 240. We're going to add the two of them together. And this is the total prime cost. What was the prime cost per unit in January? Well, that's easy. We're going to take the total prime costs, we're going to take the total amount of cameras, and we're going to divide them. $75 each, right? What are the total conversion costs? Well, we're going to take the direct labor and the manufacturing overhead. And again, we're going to add them together. And we've got 1.2 million. What's the conversion cost per unit? We're going to take the units again and divide it. And we got 62.50. What is the full cost of a single unit during this accounting period? Well, this time we want the direct materials, direct labor, and manufacturing overhead. So I'm going to take these costs. There we go. I'm just going to delete all this. There we go. So let's assume the full cost is the cost also of the administrative costs and the marketing and selling costs. Then we're going to have the auto sum. It's going to be 6,600,000. I'm still going to divide it by the 19,200. And so the full cost is going to be $343.75. If we sell it for this amount, we will cover 100% of the costs here, but we will make no profit whatsoever. How would full cost be used versus the product costs? If we look at the product costs and then we look at the number of units, the actual product cost is $125. So when would we use the full cost? We use the full cost in order to determine how we price our product. If we use this to price the product, then we know we're going to make a profit. So for instance, if I decide to price the product for an additional $180, so I'm going to price my product at $523. That means this $180 is going to be profit. So having a full cost allows us to determine a markup so that we can be profitable. Whereas if I do that same markup of $180 on the product costs, I'm selling it for $305. That's not even going to cover 100% of my expenses. I'm going to add this, else made this number up. Okay, just as a demo. I just made it up. Full cost is the break-even point. If we sell it for $343, for instance, we only need to do quick math to prove this. $343 multiplied by the 19.2 is going to give us exactly 6,600,000. And if I make 6,600,000 and I have expenses of 6,600,000, what am I actually going to make? I'm making zero. Whereas if I sell it for 523 and I sell 19,200, that's how much I'm going to make. Don't forget my expenses are still going to be 6,600,000. What's my profit? My profit is 3,456,000. So full cost, this right here, means that I am breaking even. I'm not making one penny.